Welcome to the first ever edition of Playback where me, your host Riku Beans, bring you reviews, previews, and or just overall discussion about movies, games, and DVD releases. Opening up our very first episode is the Man of Steel himself, Henry Cavill as Superman! Not much is being told about this movie that is undergoing filming right now at I don't know where. Speaking of I don't know where did Soup's red overbriefs go? Starring Amy Adams, last seen by me on Enchanted, because I just saw it like 2 weeks ago. Don't ask. Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner as Aquaman. Okay, that's a lie. I was thinking the whole making fun of him thing for doing that whole Waterworld thing. You know, it obviously was a flop, but never mind. And it's directed by Zack Snyder of 300 and Watchmen fame. I said Watchmen. And with a tentative release date of 2 freaking years from now on the 14th June 2013, I am looking too far forward to this. I would rather focus on something that's coming soon, which is the DVD and Blu-ray release of the Green Lantern this 14th of October. Warner Brothers is proud to be the first studio to announce titles available with Ultraviolet Digital Copy. Ultraviolet Digital Copy allows consumers to instantly stream their movies from a digital cloud to computers, tablets, and smartphones. All DVD and Blu-ray discs of Green Lantern will include a bonus ultraviolet digital copy, which will give consumers easy access to the movie anytime, anywhere. How this is different from a digital copy is beyond me. Is this just a cheap marketing scheme, or is this something that goes beyond digital copies of movies? Is this the next big thing? I don't know. I guess we'll find out once Ultraviolet has rolled out 100%. Also featured on the Blu-ray 3D Combo Pack and the Blu-ray Combo Pack is an extended cut of the film featuring new scenes not seen in theaters. And sometimes this baffles me how they just include scenes in DVDs when they decided not to include it in the movie. And I think at this day and age, they just make scenes up just to include it in the DVD so that people will buy it, you know. In addition, the Blu-ray 3D Combo Pack and the Blu-ray Combo Pack, okay, this is my favorite part, will offer Sony PS3, PlayStation 3 users an access code to unlock the Sinestro Core Batman skin for the highly anticipated Batman Arkham City video game. The skin will give users the ability to fight crime with the help of the yellow power of fear, giving Batman a unique yellow costume in the story campaign and in the challenge maps. Okay, this is where I hate this whole exclusivity thing. Why is it only on the PlayStation 3? Why not on other platforms as well, like PC and Xbox 360? Well, judging from what I've seen, Warner Brothers has had a very close relationship with Sony. First, it was Mortal Kombat with the added character Kratos, and now Freddy Krueger. And now this? What has Microsoft ever done to you? Okay, well, to calm me down, here are some Avengers on-set photos, courtesy of Superhero Hype. Ooh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow, nice. Fallout fans rejoice. The same team that brought you the fan short Nuka Break has decided that short has garnered enough attention to turn it into a series. Here's a link to the very first episode, and I hope you enjoy. And this is a link to the original Nuka Break short movie. Speaking of fan films, here is a Batman fan film subtitled The Last Laugh. I have to applaud the effort put into this, and I feel the action sequences could have used with a little more kapow, sploosh, zock, crush, wham, and oofs. But, what do I know? Guess who hasn't died yet? John McClane. Get it? Because it's hard for him to die. You know, because he's in die. Never mind. Fox and Bruce Willis has decided to get John Moore to direct this movie, and if you're not familiar with John Moore, then you're not alone. Hold on one second. Okay. He did the remake of The Omen that was so bad couldn't even justify a sequel because the previous Omen had like, 3 or 4 other movies made, and Max so painful to watch. I could see that he was trying to stick to the source material, but the story changed so much that I didn't like it. Talks have mentioned that this time, John will attempt to outlive a few hundred Russians. If there is a Die Hard 6, I call Asian gangs. Yep, you heard it first here on Playback. And seriously, they need to bring Zeus back, because he is awesome. Also because it's Samuel L. Jackson with an afro and clean shaven. Releasing on the 7th of October, US, is Real Steel, starring Wolverine and some boy who has the first same name as Dakota Fanning. Just happens to be a girl. Kinda looks like her too. In the year 2020, which is in 8 years, robots have replaced humans in boxing. Charlie Kenton, Hugh Jackman, loses a chance to become a boxing champion when robots take over, and he becomes a small-time promoter. When he has difficulty making a living, he reluctantly teams up with his son Max, Dakota Goyo, to build a robot that can contend for the championship. This movie is based on the 1956 short story Steel by author Richard Matheson, although I have this itching suspicion that Real Steel is an excuse to revive the Rock'em Sock'em Robots franchise, if it ever had one. So, you fit the pieces. And this week, I'm reviewing the movie of the summer, Captain America. Well, you may ask, why are you only reviewing it now? It's been 2 months. Well, no, it's been only 1.5 months. So, suck it. Now, before I say anything about this movie, before I even start the review, I have to say that superhero print-to-screen movies aren't doing as much as it did for me a few years back, for Hollywood decided to become obsessed with them thanks to X-Men and Spider-Man. Well, don't get me wrong, I think they were great movies, but Ang Lee decided to go a different path and made Hulk, which was a hulking mass of you-know-what. You know, he totally ruined the superhero franchise with a bad movie, and we all know that it was gonna go downhill from there because, well, Daredevil came along, and I think the only thing Daredevil was a huge advertising project for Evanescence, and then it spawned Elektra. Then over the years, sequels spawned more superhero movies released, at least 1 or 2 a year. Then Batman Begins released, and everyone wanted a gritty reboot. I never understood that. Now, I do not want to digress further, so I may postpone this little rant to a future episode, or maybe not. But the point I wanted to drive is that because there has been so many superhero movies, I am desensitized, and am just not interested in those kind of movies. Not to mention, I'm not really a big fan of a superhero character created out of pure propaganda. And this leads me to another point. I'm glad they made Captain America in this direction. There was some satire, which I greatly appreciated, and it was made with what I feel was a perfect pace. It wasn't a rush job, and I think this is one of the origin stories that was made without it being too stretched or rife with unnecessary redundant scenes or angles. There was the love thing that was going on, but didn't get too overwhelming that it distracted you from the actual plot of the movie, which I find was really good. This movie is what I call mindless, which most summertime popcorn flicks are. There's no thought to be put into this movie, and all you have to do is sit back with your box of popcorn and soda, wearing those stupid 3D glasses, and just suck it all in. I do not advocate 3D, by the way. The only movie that I felt a little tired from watching was The Dark Knight. Tired because the plot is very, very elaborate and it stretches out for too long, and it doesn't hold my attention much sometimes. Well, I did mention pacing. Maybe I have to watch it again, but I will need a can of Relentless. Or maybe two. Director Joe Johnston is not a stranger to massive CGI set pieces, as seen in his 1995 movie Jumanji, and I doubt he felt weird doing a movie based in the World War II era, seeing as he did Rocketeer in 1991. The Captain America costume was amazing. I thought they did a very good job at designing the costume. It's one of those that wants to mix pseudo-reality with fantasy without it straying too far away from the original design. And yes, it's not those mesh organic webby celled material as seen in a lot of superhero movies, including an organic symbiotic alien called Venom. I don't have a problem with the casting too, as I felt that everyone fit the role they were playing. Then again, I'm not really big on the whole Captain America universe, so as a casual moviegoer with not much prior experience with the franchise or character, none of the actors or characters felt awkward or out of place. However, the Red Skull was highly underplayed. Now I understand that he's the mastermind of this whole thing, so it makes sense that Cap doesn't see much of him up until the end. But I just don't feel that the impact that the Red Skull is supposed to make throughout the entire movie. I mean, Magneto was the mastermind behind the mutant attack in X3, but his character was prominent and we felt the strings being pulled by him. In Captain America, there was this impeding threat, but nothing actually happens, not to mention behind this secret war. There was the actual war going on in the background, and I'm sure people are going to feel it tickling the back of their brains. The actual World War II actually overshadows the entire plot. Well, to me at least. I don't know if it's me just thinking too much or whatever, because we're supposed to focus on just Captain America and the secret war anyway, but I just couldn't help but think of the real war that's going on in the background. Maybe it's the start of the movie about patriotism and killing crowds that drilled something subliminal in my head, but that's how it affected me. Maybe I should have just taken my own advice and let this movie be what it is. A mindless flick that doesn't need excess brain activity. All I think is the Red Skull is a prominent character in the Marvel Universe, and this is how they choose to portray him. I just think that there needs to be more to him than that. I can't say how, really, because I'm a dumbass, but seems like his sidekick got more FaceTime than him. Hugo Weaving, however, made a really good Red Skull, apart from the pseudo-German accent. Could have been much better, but his portrayal of the character was pretty impressive. But I couldn't help think of Agent Smith. I'm sorry I had to do that. Well, that is it for this episode of Playback. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.